Otherwise, it will shine too much.
Well, Major General John Int'l is with us right now. He is the defense spokesperson. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much, Maupe.
We have heard your response to the report issued by Transparency International. You say that this is an attempt to ensure that the support being enjoyed by the military now, especially international support, is denied the military. The first question will be, why is it that at every point when a report is issued by a non-governmental organization, the first instinct is to deny or think that this report is not meant in the favor of the military?
Well, it is normal, it is strategic, and it is operational by training to take that line of thought. Why? Because we know that there exists fifth columnists. There are people that are paid agents whom you don't know through their place of work or from facial appearances. And by our own intelligence threat assessment, that is the first thing that comes to mind, particularly if you see a situation that is absolutely not correct. And then, at the peak where you are prosecuting an operation, that's what happens from World War I to just to reflect in the recent past.
What your statement implies is that we will never see a situation whereby a report not in favor of the military will come out, even if it's true, that the military will not deny.
It's not true. It's not possible. There are reports that has come out before, and we are not in favor of the military. Like, for instance, you said, or it was reported that some military men beat up a cripple. Was it not one-handed? Did we refute it? No. We told you we were going to investigate it, and it was investigated, and those involved were sanctioned.
There was video evidence to that. Okay. It would have been a bit odd if the military denied what was so evident.
Good. Now this one, look at the report you are talking about here. I have it. Look at this report. And the report was concealed. Look at it. Under strict embargo until early hours of yesterday. Why must you put a report and say under strict embargo? And then, secondly, we were not consulted in any way. I went through the report. No reference made to that we visited Defense Headquarters, Ministry of Defense and all. Nothing. All the references here. Thank God that I am an academician. I taught military training and I know all about that. If you do a research, where is the population? I didn't see anything about population. I didn't see anything about sample here. Why wouldn't you think like that? So, but the instance you just drew my attention to, that one was very clear, a video evidence. There were no evidences, nothing to show that this thing was not done, probably with ulterior motive.
Well, 2010 to 2015 is the period which this report is said to cover. And they say that, they're hoping that certain things that happened in that time that enabled the military to be able to, the amount of corruption that went on in that period, according to them, they want to ensure that it doesn't happen again. They also acknowledge that some work has been done. If you now look at the fact that the Nigerian government, under President Buhari, is currently probing how money's earmarked for defense spending were eventually spent, and some of the feelers that we have received from that report. Can this report be totally wrong?
My dear, this report, the way it was presented, look at the executive summary. Was it presented in this context yesterday? I don't need a response from you. No. It was not presented. And it was not meant to be made known to us. But somehow I got to know. Because as the briefing was going on, I got a copy of it. So I would say that it is totally wrong in the way it was presented. The job, like you have told me that they did, yes, probably they were interested in doing that kind of a job in the last 7 or 6 years, 5 years, cutting across a period, a scope. In research, we call it scope. Their scope was 5 years before 2015, according to what I'm hearing from you. Yes, good and fine. They would have done their job and submitted it then.
You say from what you're hearing from me, you have read the report. If you have read the report, it doesn't say that that's the period it's covering?
No scope. Look at it. I will open it from. No scope. You can just make a deduction. But in a research report, they're supposed to say scope from social period to social period, even at undergraduate level. Polytechnics, they teach it. I did up to master's degree. That is why all this suspicion, all this saying that there must be an ulterior motive, but there should be. Let me not be too specific. Look at, and then with an executive summary. Who handles executive summary? At the United Nations, the moment this report is seen, the first is executive summary. And what do you take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs, all captured. Military officials, and they are now stagnating or stopping the effort to be concluded in the notice because of what? Benefits. No. And who are our target audiences? The elites. How many? What is the percentage? Maybe 1 or 2 like me and you that will even listen to what we are talking now or listen to radio. What about the target audience that is what? That we are at risk of facing? We have them 95%. Spread all over. And those ones, what do they hear? What they hear is what was transmitted yesterday, immediately to the air. And if not for our, response almost immediately, left for occasions like this now, for the two parties to begin to present their cases before they can now take. But if we kept quiet, you can only imagine the reactions, either in the field or in the media from yesterday up till now.
But General, you do not deny that you said this was in the past, not now.
No, what was in the past?
The corruption that went on in the military, especially with procurement, was in the past.
I'm not agreeing with you that there was even any corruption in the past, or say yes or no. I don't want to put myself in that. Let us focus on this report presented by Transparency International now.
Why don't you want to focus on that?
They are the ones saying that.
The government is probing something along those lines. Why don't you want to acknowledge that indeed there was corruption in the military at some point?
That was not why you invited me here. You invited me here that there is an accusation, I reacted to a report, and that is what I want to focus on. Let us focus on that. That is a different ballgame altogether. Me and you give us the news tonight. We get the news from you.
It's important that we expand the discussion. Why should we expand the discussion? Because at the core of this is the secrecy in which most military activities are conducted. Nigerians will immediately believe this if they see this report, because nobody is really aware in terms of what goes on, into procurement in the military. And we have heard in the past that money is earmarked, according to the investigations that the Nigerian government itself is conducting. Monies in the past meant to procure arms for military and equip them were actually taken by senior military officials.
It's you that is saying it, and like you are saying that they've told you, which I also heard, that they focused in the past for a period of 5 years. I would not say yes or no. Why? Because investigations were conducted, reports came out, and there are follow-ups. And nobody in Nigeria can say that is ignorant of what has happened, to what transpired, and what was investigated before 2015.